but then like once I jumped on X, I was like, yo, the reactions to this is wild, bro. From like her entrance to being, you know, compared to the WWE.
Yo, that's what they compared it to? That's what
Yeah,
they
that's what they're
compared
like.
it
It's a
to?
show. They're like it's a show. They're like the fireworks was going off, and I have an interesting like perspective on that as well. Because coming from like the Islamic point of view, we kind of view death in a certain light, but seeing them like celebrate Charlie Kirk in a different, I was like, wow, this is actually kind of fascinating. I had no problem with it, right? Obviously,
Mhm.
people that are cynical or you know skeptical of anything are gonna make the most out of everything. And so, like
Mhm.
even like you said, like the hug with Trump, but it could be, you know what I mean? It could be like, but like we don't, you know, there's just so much happening, so much emotions that like
Yeah.
who knows, bro? Who knows? And like you and I, we're able to discern this, so they not may not even be aware. But then obviously Evans was there, Elon was there, and
Mhm.
then company that wasn't there but sponsored it was Palantir. So I thought that was
Mm.
very interesting, and that was like
Mm.
on the billboard.
Mm.
And then you have the Tucker Carlson remarks when it comes to the analogy he had of the Jews killing Jesus.
Yeah, yeah, that was very interesting. I was like, wow, where's he going with that? What is he
I mean,
implying? You
we
know what I
know
mean?
we know where he's going with that, bro. Like
That's
him,
crazy.
him and Megyn Kelly and Candace, I think they've been very as transparent as you can when it comes to their feelings with Zionists and Israel and their take on the impact it's having in America, right? Because they're like very America first, and so him obviously having this speech prepared at the time, understanding the magnitude of it, and being able to convey that,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? That signals a lot, man. That undid whatever BB tried to do in the last 2 weeks on Fox
Mm.
News and you know what I mean, like that. So yeah, those are like the things that I was thinking about. We can unpack. We keep talking about today. Obviously, the speech Erica Kirk gave
Mhm.
regarding like forgiving the guy who did it. Uh,
Mhm.
I think she's an interesting, like if we talk storylines, I think she's an interesting character that I want to get
Yeah.
to know a little bit more because she seems very, you know, strong. She seems very opinionated. Like I got like a strong vibe from her, and so I could see her almost like McMahon. You know what I mean? How McMahon's wife took over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I could see her having some type of role. And then obviously Nick Fuentes, right? He had his tweets on JD Vance. He's very anti JD Vance, and he sees this as like JD Vance taking that opportunity to score more political points for 2028, which I
Mhm.
thought was interesting. Which could be
Mhm.
true, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like I think when you
Yeah, I think
like
I
you
think
have
I
to be
think
strategic, right? Like those
right.
are. And then the last thing I'll say is the crazy, but that's why I like looking at both sides because it
Yeah.
really paints a picture. But
Yeah.
Steven
Yeah.
Crowder commented on a video of Hitler having a speech and compared the parallels between that and essentially called this a Nazi rally.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, absolutely. Well, that's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
let's unpack
Everything.
on that. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Let's go. We go with this, bro. I'm sorry. Personal development got the way. Go ahead, man. What you got? I know it's a lot.
Yeah, so basically what I think is like this. Like you got to think about what's his name? Let's first unpack. Okay, one thing that you didn't bring up that I want to throw in there is
Let's
Candace
do it.
Owens didn't show up and the the PVD podcast was talking about how she's not even invited, and then she did a response video acknowledge, reviewing what they said, and she felt like she was being set up and this, that, and the third.
100%.
But it also coincides with
Okay.
what Nick Fuentes said about he's done with the token blacks, and that
He said that?
yeah, he did a video. He's like Jason Whitlock or Whitmore, whatever his name is, that sportscaster,
Jason would lie.
Candace Owens. He named a bunch
The
of,
Coons,
yeah,
whatever.
coon black token. He said, I'm done with you, Uncle Toms, right? Because y'all just see,
Oh man, I wish
they
we could bring
don't
up this
need,
clip. That's crazy.
send it to me. Send it to me.
Oh, okay. I'll
Yeah,
see if we
send it
can.
to me.
Okay, go ahead.
Just email it to me. I'll pull it up. So the thing is that the right, the Nazi party, the the KKK party, all of them are pretty much the same to me. But the fact is, they don't need black faces and voices to represent their agenda any longer because
Mm,
it is now the standard. So when it wasn't popular, they needed minority voices and faces to shield them from claims of, racism or bigotry or these types of things. But they don't need them anymore. And there's like Nick Fuentes is, mark my words right now, he's going to run for president in 2028.
2028?
Yeah, 2028. That's the next
Is he
election,
old
right?
enough? I think he's
That's the next
25.
election. Yeah, he can run
Yeah.
for president at 25. I believe so. Should be able
I
to.
thought it
Yeah,
was
I'll look that
40.
up.
I thought it was yeah, I thought it was 40. He
You have to be
mentioned he
for.
mentioned that they were token, but I don't think he connected that with like something because he was speculating essentially is what you're saying when it came to like the tokenized Nick Fuentes when he made the comments about black people
No, he
like
wasn't
handed
speculating. He said,
he
"I'm done with
quoted
y'all." Yeah, that's a direct quote. He said,
he
"I'm done
quoted
with
a
you
Charlie
talking."
Kirk.
No, no, no. He didn't quote Charlie Kirk. He was saying himself.
He was speaking for himself.
He's speaking
Okay.
for
Okay.
himself. He's speaking
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah, yeah,
himself.
yeah. Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
so my point is, whatever it is, he put a video out talking about he wants to transcend the left and the right. He wants
Mm.
to be a national figure, not just
Yeah.
a right
35 years
and
old.
left figure.
35
And
years old is the
so
minimum.
he can't run now, but he has big plans, is my point.
Yeah.
And so with all of that being said, I'm looking at it and I'm seeing everything that they're trying to do.
Mm.
Really, they're doing the same thing the left did when they was in power. When the left was in power, everything they used minorities as a shield against criticism. But the main thing the left was pumping was LGBTQ rights. You see,
Mm.
they wasn't really pushing nothing else. They were using the minorities to shield their agenda, which that was the primary agenda: get as many rights as possible and as many positions of power as possible to um to the LGBTQ community. Now
Wow.
I seen a video with Lee Daniels was talking about, he was sitting in a room full of other script writers, and he was talking about, they was talking about, the representation in scripting in Hollywood. And
Yeah.
he asked all of them, he said he only hired black writers. And he asked all of them in the room, did they have any black writers? All of them said no, except for one. And then this one lady said, we didn't look for race. We wanted to make sure gender equality, like gender diversity was like at the forefront. So they wanted women and they wanted men, but those women weren't black women, right? And those men weren't black men or any other minority. You know what I'm saying? So the point I'm making is the left and the right are two wings on the same bird, right? That same bird, that eagle that we see, the left and the right represents both sides of it. But they have a central agenda, which is why you see the left not pushing back so much on racial issues because they feel
Mm.
the same way. They actually look
Wow.
down worse. They look down worse on minorities than the right do. You know what I mean? Don't
Fascinating.
like the right just don't like you. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
right just don't like minorities or black folks or whatever. But the left actually despise them and think they're stupid. And without them, they can't function. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
So what's happening now is the right is like fully in power. They're going full on authoritarian, technocratic,
Yeah.
consolidating the power. And that was a rallying cry
Wow.
to the
Yeah.
base that like,
Yeah.
yo, it's time to go hunting. He said, I hate all of my opponents. I hate them. That's what Trump said. I hate
Trump
all of
said that,
my
right?
opponents.
Yeah, they were saying that. Like, I can't believe he said he hates half of America. Like, he's like essentially saying he hates half of America. 'Cause that's the representation of the left. I mean, we know he didn't win by a landslide, right? Like, he won like 52% population vote or whatnot. Yeah, I mean that's a huge statement. And again, these are statements being made at such a grand like stage. So like, yeah, I think what you're saying is actually very insightful. You're right. Like both parties have been using black people and Muslims as like a political
Yeah,
pawn to further their agenda as a shield, like you said. And
yeah,
both feel the same way about them, but they were a necessary cause to either the trans movement, the Baphomet
right,
movement, or like the
right,
right white supremacist movement.
right.
And so
100%.
now we're moving to a place where AI and technology, all of it is like creating transparency and radicals. Well, really, it's not radical, it's really reality. behind the
Yeah,
screen. It's removing, the illusions that we've been kind of programmed to see into. But now they're being upfront. They're being outspoken about it, and they're really taking advantage of this moment because Charlie Kirk, in that sense, is like one of the figureheads. Like you took out one of ours, one of our pieces to this movement of white supremacy. And I only say that because I recently, like this weekend, went into like some of the things you were saying about black people and Muslims. And again, bro, I started here with this dude, and then I listened to Hassan B or Hassan
yeah,
Nabi or Hassan Abi. No, 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 not Mehdi's, Hassan Abi, the debater. Oh, Mehdi's a bit, yeah, Mehdi Hassan's a bit. And he had a video. He's like this dude. He's like Charlie Kirk's not a good guy. Like that was his thing. I was like, all right. I've been programmed with the algorithm to see so much good of Charlie.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Well, for some reason, like X is
yeah.
pushing all this
Right.
algorithm on Charlie Kirk as like the saint. Seen a fucking Pope say this dude was equal to Saint Paul.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
I was
crazy.
like, like
Yeah. Now
what?
you know. Yeah, that's crazy.
So
Now
so
you know
like,
that's why they reach it. When you see them reaching that heavy,
well, that was crazy when he said that.
yeah,
'Cause I watched that like right after I saw him say like crazy things, bro.
yeah, yeah.
I
He's
don't even want
talking
to. I
greasy.
don't even. But like,
Now
I get it.
you know, you gotta let the audience know.
No, he was saying crazy things. I mean, he was talking about the children in Palestine and the buildings and like don't like he was just like he had no regard for like he doesn't view Muslims or black people as like human. That
Right,
was my take.
right, right.
They're not human.
100%.
Their
Exactly.
life is not on the same level as my life. Like that
Right.
was like so everything he's speaking though it was like he's speaking like the truth, right? And that's what I was kind
Yeah.
of looking at,
Yeah.
but it didn't apply to black people and Muslims. That was
Right.
clear. And that's the same
Right.
thing Nick Fuentes is on. Um and so yeah, and that's and you see that, right? You see that at this convention, they're all white. I mean, and like that's interesting. Candace Owens was not there. I mean, that would
Hmm.
have been
The only black one that I saw there was Ben Carson. You know what I'm saying?
Ben Carson was there.
Yeah, Ben Carson was there, but
You
he's
spoke.
largely he actually spoke. He's largely considered a coon, but I got a lot of respect for Ben Carson outside of his
Yeah.
cooning because I remember when I was in the fourth grade and I had like a little temper issues. They gave me his book to read,
Mm,
and it really inspired me. It really,
mm.
you know what I'm saying, helped me his story, like coming from poverty and then being the first black I think brain surgeon, and he did the first successful separation of Siamese twins. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So I do got a lot of respect for Ben Carson, regardless of his politics or his cooning, just as a human and a person, but he would be
I think
considered like a token black.
I think Coonan though, we gotta like redefine Coonan, man, because there
Mhm.
is a level of like I think it has a negative connotation to it, negative like demeaning
And it's supposed to.
definition,
It's
but it
supposed to
shouldn't,
shame.
because like Coonan is like I feel like there is Coonan, right? But there's like
Yeah,
also acclimating to the system, understanding who you're dealing with. Like when I deal with white people, there's a different
yeah.
personality. I'm dealing with black people, like there is this social intelligence of how you
Yeah,
present
but
yourself.
that social intelligence is rooted out of discrimination. So it's a survival mechanism that I'll admit we have to know how to code switch and do all of those types of things. So Coonan don't necessarily pertain to the code switching. See, here's the thing. There's two sides of it. You got your super pro black aspect of it where people are like black people can do
Dr.
no
Umar,
wrong. Yeah, we can do no wrong. We're the ultimate victims. Here's the thing too.
yeah, who else
There's
is like
power.
that?
There's power in victimization. There's power in being a
We
victim.
know it. We
Right. So, and this is why you see now the right embracing being victims themselves, because with victimization comes the justification for whatever you want to do afterwards. You see what I'm saying? Being victimized
yeah,
gives you the justification to do what it is you're trying to do after you claim this victimization happened to you. So my thing is I'm
yeah,
in the middle of it. Like there's criticism like a system of oppression, systemic racism, all of these issues of oppression is not an excuse for lack of self-accountability
uh,
and for a lack of working together. Like the things we're doing wrong as a team, as a group or whatever is not excused just because we're facing trials and tribulations from the opposition. And just
yeah,
because we take accountability doesn't mean there isn't opposition towards us that are seeking to destroy us.
mhm,
So I don't fall on the side where Like when I see people that are overly critical of black people and saying, we didn't do this, we didn't do this, we didn't do that, it's like, okay, but you can't forget what was done. You
Yeah,
can't forget
exactly.
the system that's in place, you know what I mean, working against us. And then to the
Yeah,
people who are saying, oh, we're being oppressed, they did this, they did this. Well, we can do things to counter what's being done to us. There's personal
yeah,
accountability we can take. You see what I'm saying? So I'm in
yeah.
the middle, like in the terms of like, yeah, there's things happening to us, and those things are wrong. Those systems are wrong, but that doesn't remove. In fact, it should incentivize us being more accountable and more cohesive as a group to counter the things being done to us. You see what I'm saying? So hypocrites, right, and victim and people who like to be victims fall on the side of those who want to claim oppression but lack of personal and self accountability. And the
Yeah.
people who are coons are the ones who just want to blame us to say we ain't
Mhm.
taking self accountability, but ignoring the things that's being done.
Like it's all your
That
fault, and
right,
there's
it's
no
all your
reason.
fault type joint. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
yeah.
I would say cooning
That's
is the
fair.
one who does the blaming without the acknowledging of the opposition.
Mhm.
And the useless victim is the one claiming oppression. Because we know in Islam, Allah says in the Quran that only women, children, and pretty much handicapped
The elderly. Yeah,
individuals in the elderly are able to claim oppression for why they allow just injustice to, reign throughout the land. But
yeah,
able-bodied men can't claim that. You can't
yeah,
claim oppression as an excuse for why you didn't get busy or do something about the injustice. So that's where I
yeah.
fall on
Because
that side of
ultimately, what you're doing spiritually is you're tying your limitations to God and not
right,
recognizing that with Him you can overcome anything. Like there is
right,
no just because the system is such. That's the whole point, right? That's the whole point of going to God. That's the whole point of understanding His power, His names. And so, yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that's where personal development comes into play, right? Because any part of self development, of personal development, it's rooted in first validating your struggles, validating why you are the way you are. I mean, that's like the baseline to first overcoming, right? And so, like you said, when it comes to black people in the communities or the coons, not validating the injustice, the systems, the oppression, the systematic like
yeah. It's a
wickedness.
list. Yeah, it's
I
really
mean, yeah,
wickedness.
yeah,
Right,
we went into this in another episode that anyone else can kind of fall back on, but not validating that is kind of but you can't rely on your enemies or the oppressors to validate your struggles. You can't rely on the it doesn't even that
exactly.
doesn't even make sense.
It
You know what I
doesn't
mean?
make
Like
sense.
you
But
can't
see, this is what the left, this is what this is what the blacks and the Muslims who align themselves with the left try to do. They try to gain uh, allies through victimization
mm,
and empathy of it, and not
mm,
realizing that, like, listen, we don't have to play the victim. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? We should be abrasive in
yeah,
the position and confrontational in the position that, listen, this is who we are, this is what we doing. Yeah, y'all doing that, but this is how we moving, and that's just that. That's
yeah,
just that. But see,
yeah.
that's a more masculine frame. You know what I'm
And we
saying?
lost that. We lost that in
And we lost the
2001.
masculine. Yeah, I mean, we lost it long ago. You know what I'm saying? But the masculine frame of being
Understanding your worth.
confrontational, exactly, 100%.
Understand your worth. Like, look, we're in this economy. We're in this society. We know our worth as black people. We
Yeah,
understand our worth as Muslims. We know what we're contributing. And if you don't reciprocate, if we don't find some mutual grounding, then like we'll take our shit elsewhere. Like that has to be. We'll take our shit to Africa. We'll take. You know what I mean?
right,
Like
right.
I don't really believe in because the world is so big now. I don't even believe in like fighting for this. I think you just migrating, just getting out of there is like the best case scenario. Just because like there's so much opportunity elsewhere. When we talk about Africa and like the Middle East, Dubai, like there's a lot of countries that are yearning for our
Yeah,
abilities, our skill sets,
yeah,
right? Like,
right.
and so I think just having that empowerment, that sense of empowerment is so it's crucial, man. Even people that are in sports, you know what I mean? Like go build a league in Africa, go build a
Mhm.
football league. There's all these things happening. It takes time and you gotta be willing to start from nothing, right? Like, but like you have to have a vision, you have to have a purpose that's gonna drive you, not just for you, but understand that your kids are gonna be even worse off if you don't.
Yeah. But
Not
see,
gonna get
that's the
any
thing
better.
though. You starting in on a ground level is always better than moving into something that's already built, depending on your
Mm,
positioning. If you're trying to build wealth, your vertical is getting on the ground floor as much as possible, deal with the bumps and bruises that come with that. But that has the most upward gain for you. Now, if
right.
you're somebody who is already established, right, already have your wealth and stuff established, you can go buy performing assets or get in on something that's already producing, but you need a lot of capital and a lot of resources to do that. So people got to understand that, going to emerging markets is going to always fare better in the potential of how much you can gain as opposed to going and trying to, get in on something that's already established if you lack a certain level of resources. Like the people that are already resourceful at that level are already playing that game. So you got to get in where there's the most upside.
Yeah.
And I'm just pointing that out because, like you're saying, the world is global, and as Muslims, we're taught that we should travel, Allah's earth. It's sunnah to travel and see the world. You know what I mean? Just off the rip. And so I think that a lot of people get caught up into the tribal, nationalistic elements and ethnic
Mm,
elements of existence. And
yeah.
I'm cool. I'm cool with people who are into who are locked on that. But if you plan on being at the highest level, you got nationality, right? But then there's something that's emerging. I used to talk about this decades ago about the emergence of city states and supranational entities, like supranational. That's what's next. That's what BRICS would be representatives of. You see what I'm saying? That's what
Three or
that's
more countries that delegate some authority to a central body.
see what I'm saying?
That's what Burkina Faso and them are
The
doing.
Sahelian states is doing. So my point is,
Fascinating.
that's the next feature of international politics and economics.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Coalitions of countries, even NATO is an example of that. We're just going to see more of that, and all of those are going to collapse into one. They're going to keep collapsing into bigger mega structures of alliances. You
yeah.
see?
I think what makes that easy for those countries as well, and maybe this is why America is kind of redefining who they are as an identity,
Yeah.
because a lot of these China, Russia, India, what they have in common is an understanding that this is an Indian country for this is a Chinese
Nah,
company
right.
country for this is a Rush, you know what I mean? And so America is almost trying to take that back so that they can then immerse themselves in that same conversation. So they have
Yeah.
an identity, they have the they know what their vision is that's based on their tribe, right? It's going back to
Yeah.
tribalism is essentially
Yeah.
what we're seeing in real time. And so I think they're seeing the power in that. They're seeing the power of consolidated
That's the thing.
power.
No, I was just gonna say that's the thing though. It doesn't work. Like it doesn't work for them in that way in America because America wasn't developed like that. They sold
Yeah.
America as white only, but they used diversity. And the
Hmm.
thing that makes America great is its diversity. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? You can
Hmm.
come here and get every type of food, meet every type of nationality, meet every type of ethnicity. And, that's what makes America great. A white ethno state has never made America great because it was never built on that. And yes, that is the advantage that Indians and Chinese have. They have the fact that they're ethnologically the same. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And there's a unity in that. But
Yeah,
that's not
exactly.
what America was based on. And to try to reverse course and say, like the white people in the world, not spectacular like that, where you can build an entire country with just them. Not even Europe was built like that. Like there's a Muslim travel influencer, I believe. He was making a point that Europe is got to deal like they complain about tourists and stuff like that, but Europe has to acknowledge that you're a museum. Y'all are museum countries now. Y'all don't produce anything. The only thing you can say they produce is soccer and luxury items that are made in China and leather material that they get from Nigeria. So I think it was Louis Vuitton. I think it's Louis Vuitton made this new handbag that's they said that the African aunties, immigrant African aunties, is like this was that bag. And I used to see this bag when I was coming up with my aunties and grandmas and all of them. It's a white, red, and blue plastic straw type bag, right? They're selling this as luxury, bruh. So they don't even like even the designs that they get is African designs. The whole I can go on and on about it, but my point is they don't
Ghana
produce
must. It's a,
Ghana. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. The point is that they don't produce anything. Their
yeah,
greatest time was during the Renaissance after they took the information from the Moors and then they went on to colonize the world and that was their heyday. There's nothing coming out of Europe. There's no innovation in the tech space. Man, even their tech scene was a guy who just looked at American companies and copied it
yeah,
and put it in Europe.
yeah.
So
The
they're
brothers. I think it was the
useless,
brothers. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They're useless as a you know what I'm saying? Europe is
I
useless in that
agree.
way.
I agree, but I would not I wouldn't compare Europe with America. I wouldn't, just because America, like you said, has been able to attract so much brilliant innovators and thinkers and diversify their talent to where now it's not just white American. We're seeing Elon Musk, we're seeing Sachs, we're seeing people from all over the world who are white coming together. And on top of that, and this gives me a different perspective on AI and technology. Because now I'm like, oh
Hmm.
shit, AI and technology is really just to replace us. Like that's it, like a
Yeah,
white
yeah,
civilization that replaces us as
right.
like their need. You know what I mean? Like that in America, at least. That's how I'm seeing it. I'm like, oh wow, like they're really. This is a vision that they're like eager about. Like this makes
Right.
sense. This is like the fuel of like this is our country. We take it back. How do we do it? AI, technology,
Right.
Palantir. You got Sam Altman. You got all these guys are white figures. I mean, all of them at the top.
Hmm.
And so like
Hmm.
this narrative that you're presenting is like is definitely one that I'm going to dive deeper into because this is like
Hmm.
yeah, it's very compelling on so many different levels, and it does piece a lot together. Uh, just understanding why things like this are taking place, and so even with like Charlie Kirk and how they're not even acknowledging. Like I love Tucker Carlson, right? I love Megyn
Hmm.
Kelly. They're not even acknowledging the racism. They're not even acknowledging the anti-Islamic, rhetoric. They're not even. They're just painting him as like a just a gem. And
Yeah,
it's like, how do you do that while he said certain things that clearly is going to incite the left? Like clearly,
yeah,
to make it just seem and gaslight the left. Like this guy just that to me is propaganda. That's not. Or you agree with him so much on those points that you can't even like it doesn't
yeah.
even
Because they
register.
agree with them. That's because they agree with
Yeah.
them.
So like
You
so
see what I'm
that's
saying?
why I'm like, okay, like it's starting to make sense.
Hmm.
Like racism is going
Yeah.
to become the new norm, but like in a real way. Because now they're at a
Which is
point where
going
they
back to the
feel
80s.
but it feels like now it's like they're empowered by AI and technology. Now they feel like we can do it. We couldn't for so long. We had to tolerate you niggas. We had to
Right,
tolerate you. We had to, you know what I mean? And now it's like no more tolerance. Like
right.
that's what the messaging is. I think
Yeah.
moving forward is like we're not tolerating any of you. Like we're going to create policies, hate speech, like Pam Bondi
Hmm.
said. We're gonna, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? And we're going to target anyone that's like not white or
Hmm.
who's white and helping. Right? It's like slavery.
Hmm.
It's almost like it's like the same. It's the same thing. It's just a melting pot now of like different people.
Yeah.
So
But that's what it always was. That's the thing. So
yeah,
I wouldn't necessarily
interesting.
say Europe. I'm not comparing Europe and America in the context that they're the same. I'm saying America as an ethno-white state is Europe.
Meaning.
America as it is, has always been about diversity. It's always been various groups coming here contributing to the development,
Do you
of
think that
America.
though? Do you believe that?
The foundation of how America was built was they got the governmental systems, the resources, and the knowledge on how to be on this land from the indigenous people, right? Period. Right. And the indigenous people here were diverse. The indigenous people here resembled West Africans
Exactly.
to
Native
Asians.
Americans,
You know what I'm saying? You had all of those ranges
South
in there as the
Americans,
indigenous peoples.
they were already here. I
Right.
see.
Right. So you have black folks already here. You had Asians already here.
So how do we
Everybody
make
was
the
already here.
most out of these people to create a system
So
that's like,
they got the flag and the
mm,
Constitution from the Iroquois Confederacy. The Constitution that we have comes from the Iroquois Confederacy. That's where they got the knowledge from on how to make the Constitution. And then they brought in West Africans and they brought in, Chinese people, you know what I mean? There was different, groups here. So they enslaved certain groups, made certain groups indentured servants, you know what I'm saying? And then
yeah,
that is what created the foundation of America. And then they had Ellis
gotcha.
Island. where they had a lot of other Europeans come over because they didn't want to give the jobs
Yeah,
to
the
the newly
Germans.
freed
That's where like
slaves.
that's like the
Yeah, the
coinciding with like
Germans.
yeah, the
But they
World
was
War
already
II, I
coming
think.
here during colonization. But then past that, you have the Germans, you have more Irish coming in, you have more Russians and Italians and North
And
Africans and all that stuff coming in more. You know what I'm saying? Then when you get to the 60s, they had people from Africa, India coming through sparsely, but they had like a 60-year ban on it. And then in the 60s, that's when you see more Caribbean folks coming over, more African folks coming over, more Arabs coming over, more Asians from like Vietnam and this coming over. That's the story of America. You see me? That's how it
yeah,
was actually developed.
wow.
You
No,
see?
the Iroquois Confederacy is a powerful alliance of six indigenous nations: the Mohawks, Oneida,
Mm-hmm.
Onondaga, the Cayuga, Seneca, and
Mm-hmm.
Tuscarora around the
Mm-hmm.
15th, 16th century.
So the mode
Damn,
of government,
they stole that shit too.
yeah,
There's nothing
that's my
original about
point.
America.
Nothing's
But I
original
mean,
and
that's
nothing's
history. I
original.
mean, I'm not going back. The history is like
Yeah,
a sense of refining, the past.
yeah.
That's wise. But yeah,
So
yeah,
all
true.
I'm
I mean, it's
saying
good to
is when
know
we
that
look at
history.
that, yeah, but
Yeah,
the key about knowing the history is so that nobody can pull a wool over your eyes in the future. So when they start talking about this white ethno state,
yeah.
it never was. It's always been a fantasy. That's never how America worked. They've just
Mm,
they just made deals and broke treaties and deals with every group they made it with so that they would be at the top of the food chain when the dust settled. You see? So all I'm
mm,
saying is in regards to what their interest is now, it's not
mm.
gonna work. It's just not good
You don't,
because even the
you
dude,
don't think so?
yeah, nah,
So
it's not gonna work.
you're saying that this is the dust settling.
Yeah,
This is
this is
the
the dust settling. Yeah, this is the dust
and you
settling.
say it's not gonna work. Why?
It's not gonna work because
'Cause I can see it working.
I don't. You can't get money. You can't get like this. They're creating an economy based on chaos, right? The economy based on chaos is this. We're gonna increase technology to police people's thoughts and to arrest people. Yeah, the thought police. Now you got the thought police in place. You can't say nothing about Israel. You can't say nothing about this group. You can't say nothing about that. We're gonna lock everybody up. We got the eyes. The dude from Palantir himself said
Peter Thiel.
cops won't act up because we're watching everyone. And the citizens won't
Mm,
act up because we're watching everyone. So
mm.
that's not going to work the way they think it is. They don't realize humans are a lot more
Like
vigilant
nuance.
than
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
a lot more nuanced and vigilant. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then you're gonna create this
Mm.
whole hype around white nationalism and you alienating everybody else. And you're banking on the fact that people are so much the sellouts to their own people that they're going to be dying to be a part of whatever the white folks got going on. But they don't really have an economy. They just control certain things. This is why they want you to not be able to boycott because you really get to choose. You really hurt. Like, for instance, they fired Jimmy Kimmel, and I'm not a left or right type of guy. I think they're both, full of it. But they fired Jimmy Kimmel. What did everybody do? Cancel their subscriptions. They lost $3 billion in like the last week. Now they offering
Subscriptions.
Hulu, Disney, ESPN, because Jimmy Kimmel owns ABC. Disney owns
Mm.
ABC, and they fired Jimmy Kimmel. So you got all these
Gotcha.
celebrities calling to. So now y'all just lost $3 billion over Charlie Kirk, and y'all gonna be losing more money over them.
Mm.
So people do have a way to fight back against certain things. So all of this is going to do is just create more chaos, more random attacks, more racial attacks from whites on blacks, from blacks on whites. You can't get money. You can't thrive in an environment like that. This is chaos economy.
Man, I don't know. Right. That could be right, right? We don't know. We're just predicting. We're talking about based on what we are understanding. But you have to be able to see a world where this could work. You have to. You have to
It
be
all
able to
depends on what your
entertain
meaning of
both
work is.
what their
It all depends on
objective
what your
is. Like a white supremacist country ruled by, whites that have technology and AI and whatever it is they're putting together to surveil and keep everyone else in control. You have to be able to, because they are, right? They have a vision where allegedly, like based on what we're
mm,
seeing, like they have a vision that they believe in, right? And unless we're able to see what they believe in and how they're coming about going creating this new
mm.
utopia for white utopia, it, I think we would be underestimating. We would be underestimating
Also,
their
just
abilities.
real quick. It's a twofold thing. It's white Christian.
Yeah, that's true.
nationalism.
That
Like
is white
that
Christian. Yeah, yeah. That's
you can't detach the religion from the ethnic identity that they're claiming. This has always been a beef against Muslims too. That's why I keep telling like even black folks. I tell them I'm like if you want to understand the last 2,000 years, or you want to at least understand what's going on now, you have to go back to the Crusades. All of this comes from the Crusades, and before that, it comes from the beef between the Moors and the Romans. But above and beyond that, this really starts with the Crusades. This is the continuation of that. Why you think they want to make Charlie Kirk a saint? Why are you talking about all of these
yeah.
Christian principles now? Let me tell you something. It was
Damn,
the
bro.
Muslims. It
That
was the
yeah.
popularity of Islam. It was the popularity of
Ah,
Islam that
yeah,
caused the Christians to reinvigorate themselves with their faith. It was the
yeah.
popularity of Islam, and the people were saying, oh, you know, Muslims
Mm,
are conservative. Muslims have the values, and I'm attracted to Islam because they take. So then that made them say, oh, we got to resurge. We got to make a resurgence with Christianity. You see what I'm saying? So
no,
this is why you
100%.
see that.
No, you're right. And I think you brought up something a few episodes ago where I didn't even, yeah, fucking the chess play. Cause I was like, that's dark, but like choosing Charlie Kirk as like a sacrifice
Yeah, he was.
to, I can say he was, bro, but like that becomes even
I'm
more
saying it
compelling because it allows everything we're seeing
to happen.
to unfold. And then you make him a saint. You kind of create a statue. I'm sure you're gonna create a statue of this nigga in White House. Like you're rebranding the
You
entire
didn't hear? You didn't
country.
hear?
Shut the hell up, bro. Don't tell me.
You
Nah,
didn't hear?
nah, they
Oklahoma.
not do that.
Then hold on. Oklahoma, the first to make this, they say this is what they want to do. I don't know if other states
No,
want to do it, but
no,
Oklahoma
no,
wants to build basically shrines for Charlie Kirk and statues for him at every college in Oklahoma.
no. Yeah, Oklahoma. Oh my God. See, this is one that shit starts to make me feel like I get goosebumps. When I start thinking of things and it's already happening,
Yeah.
I'm like,
But
oh, there's
billionaires say
alignment.
it. It is.
Yeah,
Billionaires
I'm
say
like,
this all the
this
time.
makes sense, bro. Because everything we know, bro. Nothing is by chance. It's all structured. They
Right.
have a plan. It's a strategy. That's why you
Yeah.
have to follow patterns and trends and
Right.
like money and see who's showing up to what. Like the
Mhm.
time, right? Time and money is the most important thing to any wealthy individual. So seeing how they spend that, where they spend it, is what I look at. And so yeah, this
But they'll tell
wow,
you
they're
never let a what's name go
rebranding.
to waste. They'll tell you never let a tragedy or like a disaster. Never let a tragedy go to waste. So whether they plan,
Bro,
whether it was a sacrifice or not, it was a perfect opportunity to
perfect.
capitalize off his death, to
Perfect.
propel the movement even
And
further.
now even with Zionism and Israel, you get a chance to remove yourself from them. Like you're creating an echo chamber,
Yeah,
a silo
exactly.
for your country. Now we're independent in almost every way. It's brilliant.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a
That's why BB's on there like,
rehashed.
yo, I promise you this time it wasn't us. You're like, yo, I
Yeah,
promise you. They pulled a fast one.
yeah.
Wow.
But it's the same script though, because like
It's their
when we
script. The
say
victimization and like the
right,
power grab, they
there
learned
we
it from
go.
them. Oh no, it's the same
Exactly.
script. And that's what I'm saying. He's
Right.
like, yo, no, y'all like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah. I
You know what I'm
could
saying?
see. Yeah.
So
Oh
when they
man, this
say,
show is
like you
incredible.
said, oh, they killed our guy. It's like, yo, you were killed by your own. He was killed by his
Yeah.
own.
Literally,
You know what I'm
literally,
saying?
literally.
Literally. In
Like
the whitest
the
country, in the whitest
irony,
state.
the irony was the right and left, like you mentioned last time. It was a dude, a white right or whatever, in a relation with a transgender. It was literally the epitome of America.
That's
And
it.
that's who, yeah,
That's what took him out. So, but the narrative is
allegedly.
still, yeah,
Yeah.
allegedly. So the narrative is still the others, the Muslims, the blacks, the Mexicans, when they had
Yeah.
nothing to do with it.
Absolutely nothing, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But it was a school
Yeah.
shooting. It was a school shooting after you know what, Andrew Bustamante, you know about him, right? You know, the
The
former
CIA
CIA dude.
nigga?
Yeah, he got
Former,
a
allegedly, allegedly, like, I don't know
allegedly,
who's
yeah,
a
allegedly. Yeah, yeah,
former
yeah. I mean
CIA.
of him. Yeah, of him. Like I mean like through YouTube, not personally, yeah, my fault.
Yeah,
But he
yeah,
but he was talking about how white men are now the face of like violent crime in America. They removed the FBI report that was on it that was saying like, yo, more important than the biggest threat to America is pretty much, young white men. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. Now, whether that's the case or not, I'm not saying it is. That's the same game they played when they were saying it was black men or this group or that group. The whole point I'm making is you can't thrive in this environment. What they're seeking to do is
Mm.
chaos economics. And this is what gets done when a civilization is declining. The reason I study history so much is you will see that everything that's happening
Yeah,
now only means that there's a decline.
yeah,
They've
yeah,
already
yeah.
they've already drained
On
all
every
the money
level.
from the economy.
Yeah,
There, there's a guy named Sean in town, right? A YouTuber who talks about gig economy. He was the one telling he was putting everybody on
yeah,
how
gig
to get
economy.
the medical supply delivery and this type of gig and this type. He One of his latest videos, he's like, "Yeah, I'm done with it. It's over. The gig economy's done. I'm transitioning my content to talk
Yeah.
about politics and what's going on in the world."
He
But he
said that?
said, if you didn't, yeah, he said, if you didn't start a business on that stuff, it's over. If you're just somebody who want to sign up, yo, if the gig
I
economy is
got
even
bars,
dead,
guy. No, that's what Imam Ghazi said too. He's like drop shipping, e-com, all that is done. He's like, it's done. No, he's
see,
saying the same. So it's interesting that you're saying that he's saying the
yeah,
same thing because these are like the new, like, I think it's been done, but like now people are realizing, so they're talking about it, right? And that's always
right,
been known when drop shipping. I was like, that's what got me out of it because when niggas started
right,
teaching me about drop shipping that were doing well, I was like, if you're
yeah,
making more money teaching me, I'm
yeah,
done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm
right,
not. That don't even make any sense. Like the numbers
100%,
you're presenting, I would not be teaching nobody. You know what I mean? Like that,
right,
I would just be correct.
yeah,
So yeah, I think it's been done, but now it's like it's mainstream. Everyone's knowing
yeah,
this is done, and so they're just validating what people already
yeah,
knew years ago.
exactly.
Yeah,
So if the gig economy is done, if it's done,
that's
then
interesting.
what does that tell you? When you
Yeah,
don't
gig
have like
economy.
so,
No, because I only said it because the gig economy is really catered to the youth. Like it's something I got
yeah,
into my early 20s.
yeah.
So they're like that was like the one thing you
It's
could
not just
like.
the youth though. People, senior citizens, and everybody in between work the gig economy. I know a
No, but I'm
guy
saying for us, like growing up, like that was always the first like my entry to
entry.
entrepreneurship
Yeah,
was
yeah,
seeing the drop shipping, the
yeah,
e-commerce, the
yeah.
Shopify, like the
Likewise.
FBS. You know what I mean? So I'm saying that if you don't have that to at least the quick get rich
Yeah,
scheme for the youth, I'm saying like that
yeah,
specifically is hurtful.
yeah,
Like that's what leads to like all of this that's coming about, right? Like
yeah.
that's like what else is there? If I'm not working at, I mean, these niggas ain't working on 9 to 5 no more. Like those days are
Those
over. They
days are
seen their
done.
parents.
They're
They're
not
like,
even
we're not doing
available.
that.
They're
That
not even
too. Yeah,
available.
we saw it was an error. 900,000 jobs that had been displaced, and that was an
Right.
error. Oh yeah, yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. Oh my God, bro, this
So
shit.
what he wants is what the economy what that shows you is based on the big beautiful bill.
Yeah,
What the government is forcing the economy to be is agricultural workers, right? Farmers or
farmers,
sharecroppers, right? And then prison,
house builders, prisons.
prison because they gave like billions, 130 billions of dollars to ICE. They're giving ICE agents, you get like 100,000 plus a year. You get six figures a year, and you get your college paid for. You get your college paid for, and you get some other perks and benefits. You know what I'm saying? So that's the preferred job,
Wow.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So what else is there left? So
No,
you
I'm
got your
seeing
skills
it.
trade, you got your skills trade, like your plumbing,
Yeah,
electrician, because they need the data centers built, right?
correct.
But that's it.
Yep, the energy centers as well. And
Yeah,
those were
that's
like,
it.
and it's kind of like going back to our conversation regarding like Mexicans, right? And it just felt like even on a local level, like Mexicans are like the new slaves, like the new black people. And so like
Hmm.
black people's jobs are being taken. I mean, not taken, 'cause black people don't even want to do it anymore. We moved up, so we
Yeah,
don't even want to
right,
do those jobs
right,
anymore.
right,
And it's like there's nothing left to do. Like that's all like it's shrinking by the day, literally as AI and
right,
technology advance. So
right.
it's like, yeah, the prison industrial complex,
Hmm.
like you said, ICE, it's the
Hmm.
same blueprint, bro. It's the same
Same
like
blueprint. Same blueprint. Did you hear
it's
Trump though? Did you hear him? Based on what you said, he said it. He said
wow.
and when he was running on the campaign, he said they're taking black jobs. Trump, no matter what you say, this
He
guy's
said it?
hilarious, man. He is the funniest white guy ever, man. He said it. He said,
But that's a skill. That's a
I
skill. Like he'll
know.
say
Yeah,
things that
that's
are funny, but he's being honest, bro.
yeah.
I saw that like on the All In podcast. They were talking about how he
Yes.
was talking about Russia, Putin. I mean, I'm not even gonna go down that, but like he jokes, but he's not. Like he has a way of having like that charming charisma.
Yeah.
He's good.
Hilarious.
He's good, bro. He's really the politician. Like he's really good at what he
Yeah,
does.
no, no, yeah, yeah, he got it. He said it. They're taking black jobs. Okay, they're taking black jobs. Now listen, he said it on another occasion. He said, listen, they're trying to we tried. You know, we gotta find a way to bring the farmers back because the farmers are losing money. The urban people don't want to do it. We've tried. They don't want to do it. They're not gonna do it.
Damn, bro. Damn.
Right. AT.
Yeah. I think that's like what makes it so fascinating in a world where we don't trust the government. He tells the truth. And he's literally like explaining to us what his agenda is and like what his
Yeah,
mindset is. And we just don't believe
facts.
him until it happens like a year later. And that's like
That's
worked
a
to his advantage.
that's a
But yeah,
pure
that's
fact.
damn. And it's interesting. Ah man, there's so much. I mean, there's so much. Like yeah, the fact that you kind of agreed with the whole Nazi rally comparison. Yeah, wow. I gotta watch it now. I feel like, because like
Hmm.
when you show it, not just the way, but the things they were saying in the Hitler piece and what was being said in this, I was like, wow, like this is they're creating an enemy out of everyone. They're creating an enemy out of the Zionists, the Jews, the black people, minority immigrants, Muslims, like everyone. Like we have to band together. Everyone's an enemy except if you're white or align
Man,
with the
nah, it's
white.
not even that. I can't even say that. I can't even say that. It's so bad. The white ethno-state America that they're trying to build is so bad. They've even made enemies of Europe.
Uh,
Europe is no longer allies
they're
with
literally
America.
burning all the bridges. Literally, they're
100%.
literally burning all the bridges. They're at a point now where they feel very good with where they're at, the pieces they have in place, and the positioning. They feel good. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then you see like you start to then realize like, yeah, man, like the Nick Fuentes, Charlie Kirk, these are like props that they're being like given these microphones to speak
Yeah.
for a reason. Like even Nick Fuentes, we're like, yeah, he says I like Nick Fuentes, man. I seen his interview recently with Russell Brand, who's a more like,
Mhm.
like when Nick has conversations with people that are intelligent, you could see like that side of him come out. But then when he's on his own, that's when he starts saying crazy shit. And so yeah, I just I see it, bro. I don't know. I see it. I see what this is. And
Mhm.
I think as we grow further into this year, the end of the year and moving in, that's why like JD Vance is such a huge proponent of the 2028. It just makes sense. I see the war. I see what's happening. I see like the struggle, the tribalism, spiritual war.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, it's just like the
Mhm.
clarity is so vivid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like now, it's
It's a
like now what?
well, I think now is I think Muslims, black folks, other minorities need to mind their business. Number
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
mind your business. Like right now,
yeah.
what's going on is between white folks. The left, the white left and the white right is duking it out as everything burns, right? And a house divided can't stand. And then also there's an African proverb that says, when two brothers fight, a stranger inherits their property, right?
Mm.
So all the other groups, if you're not white, shut up, mind your business, and do some. Like I think the new economy that I think there's a unique opportunity for the groups who are not a part of the white ethno state that white Americans are trying to form because it gets deeper. It gets deeper. Like Elijah
Damn,
Muhammad
bro.
talking about Elijah Muhammad was saying, give blacks the southern states. Modern white ethno nationalists are saying they should take the northwest of the country. They say they should just give them the southern states or whatever, but let's
For
take the
who? Bus?
northwest. Yeah, yeah.
They
There's
want to give
certain
us.
white
They want to
supremacists.
give us Gaza 2.0, bro. That's just a short term plan. It's eventually gonna be like Yeah, bro, that's it. It's
Well, it
over.
has to be not necessarily like there's like there has to be white people cannot live in peace for the most part with anybody, right? So there's a group among them that are saying, look, we'll take the Northwest, which is like Oregon, California, Montana. They're already in Montana. They'll take that side. Everything Midwest, give them
That'll
that.
never happen, bro. That'll
I'm
never
not
the
saying they
parallel
would,
between white people and Zionists, if you can't live in peace with people around you, their proximity is just going to create that a paranoia. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it would just be a stepping stone towards what's already happening in Gaza. It would just be like, okay, now
but
we have them
see,
all there. Now they're building. Now they're up to some shit. Now we got to get. Now they're allied. Which the paranoia doesn't stop
yeah.
until you
But see, this
completely remove them, bro. It's
But
an
see, this is what I'm
internal
saying.
demon.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
fear,
But this is what I'm
karma. You know what I
saying.
mean? Like, we did so much. There's no way they're just sleeping in peace over there. Even though they may be, it's like, no way. We gotta remove
But
them.
here's what I'm saying, though. Check this out. Check this part out. What happened in Gaza is based on the American blueprint. What you're describing is America from 1865, 1965. That's America. You see, what you just described is exactly what America was from 1865, which is the end of the Civil War, freedom from slavery, to 1965, which is the passing of the Civil Rights Act. Throughout that time period, Black people made their own thriving towns and we always were burnt to the ground by white folks because they were jealous of the prosperity. However, 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 there was a Black economy. There was an economy
It's Black
separate. The
Street.
reason they
It's like
right,
a Black
well,
Wall Street.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's just an example. There were
Yeah.
hundreds and
Yeah,
thousands
bro.
of thriving Black towns and communities.
There's
They
a lady on
wanted
TikTok that had that.
integration. They created integration to get the money that was
To dilute.
circulating in those to dilute it.
Mm,
So integrate segregation, separate but equal, was working for us. The reason we was pushing for civil rights was the fact that it was supposed to be separate but equal, but it wasn't all quality.
just kept
The
getting
way
jealous.
America, right, and kept getting jealous. So that was what you described. That was America, but it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse with integration. It's gotten worse, and they're pulling back. Trump already passed something. He already wrote out an executive order for equal employment opportunities and like they're basically
Yeah.
creating the groundwork to bring segregation back. It's not necessarily a bad thing, is my point. My point is it's better to live like that and be able to do things to be self-sufficient and protect what you're doing than to be around people who really could care less about you or want to see you dead or don't want to see
Yeah.
you in their communities because it's not
Yeah.
like things are more integrated now than it ever was. So I'm just saying, like, what you
Yeah.
described, it took place already. And so what I'm saying is modern white nationalists, some of them, not all of them, have the concept of taking the Northwest and making that the white land. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying that's true or false. I mean, or that it should be done or not be done. I'm just saying that these are the things that's occurring,
Yeah, it's the next
based on that
logical
attention.
step for them.
Yeah. And so just to close out my part, I was saying is
Yeah.
basically what I believe Muslims, Black folks, other minorities, what they should be focused on is community building and
Yeah.
building businesses around like you gotta kill
An
materialism.
ecosystem. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta dead materialism. You have to say
Mhm.
like materialism is how that American dream, right? That they keep
Yeah.
pumping.
Yeah.
You gotta kill that because that's what keeps you enslaved to the system. You have to find what you need, what resources you need, build businesses around meeting those community needs, and then
Exactly.
create extended communities. And that's and getting back more to family, getting more back to
Yeah.
self-realization and
Yeah.
actualization. Because
Yeah.
even though there
Yeah.
isn't jobs for the larger economy, there is jobs within a community if you have a skill
Yeah.
or that you can do that's useful to other people. That's the
Yeah.
economy
Because people are buying
each
shit
other.
elsewhere. And if you could just consolidate that into a funnel or ecosystem that serves your community,
Right.
leveraging AI technology. Damn, bro, I
Right.
literally just had a conversation with somebody. I'll bring up my phone, bro. I literally have like 6, 7 different like Muslim, Islamic, like entrepreneurship
Mm,
masterminds. And it's like they
mm,
all are coming with such brilliant ideas. And it's like
mm.
you already have a customer in the masjid.
Right.
So, and
Right.
most messages are brokies. They're run by
Right.
imams that know nothing about economies,
Right.
economics, entrepreneurship, money, right? They're just employees. So if you can bridge that gap by saying, like, we created these companies, if you leverage your audience, customers, to use it, we will give you money. We'll give you incentives. We'll give you
Right.
like referral bonuses, right? And then it's like
Right.
now you've created a system that ties
Right.
both. And so you
Right.
do that. I mean, that's powerful. I mean, that's where you start to really leverage. And it's not just doing it for the sake of doing it. You're actually catering products that are Islamic, that are a lot purer and more aligned with our
Right.
values, right? Like, so you could
Right.
literally just do what the dude in Europe who just took ideas from America and like spread it. You do the
Exactly.
same thing. Just recreate whatever is already being and just make it Islamic. You know what I mean?
Right.
Uber
Right.
drivers with non-pedophiles or what? You know what I mean? Like you have
Right.
like your own
Exactly.
ecosystem, and it's like, oh, you do that, it's over. Like an idea
Yeah.
like this, if you
Yeah.
capitalize and bridge, the entrepreneurs with like the leaders of these communities, and then you create that franchise model and expand it to America, all of them, and then, bro,
That's what I'm saying. That's where the new opportunities
that's
exist,
powerful. Yeah,
not in the mega economy that,
politics.
yeah, not the big economy where you work for a big Fortune 500 company and you get a
Yeah,
six-figure check and you go spend all your money
yeah,
on the weekend on being a consumer. Those days are done.
yeah, yeah. It's
Those
done.
days are done. You know what I'm saying? That's the real economy, which you just described. That's the new
Yeah,
opportunities.
that
And you're
is.
gonna
Everyone
miss
doing what
it
they
if
do
you're not
best.
minding your business. If you're sticking
Correct.
your nose in white folks' business, we can watch what's going on.
We
But
could
if you
watch. Yeah, we
jump
had
in that,
conversations, but it's just to bring back, yeah, the
exactly.
information. Yeah, yeah,
Because if you focus on what they got going on, you're gonna miss what you should
yeah,
be doing with your community. Because
yeah,
that's where the power, the safety, the prosperity, the success, the pivoting, that's where it's at. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because it's not money that's important. It's people because money would
yeah,
be useless without people. So when they say,
yeah,
where's the economy? Where's it going? We have a fake economy. It's not
yeah.
real.
Fake
So
money,
now
fake
fake
everything,
money,
bro.
everything. So now everything is going back to what matters, what's real. You see what I'm saying?
'Cause that's what they're doing. They're creating a new community. That's really what's
Yeah.
happening. That's what
Yeah.
really what make America great again means, man. It just gives it a whole nother level of like we gotta go back to like
Yeah.
what you said. Like we gotta go back
Yeah.
to white nationalism, white, supremacy, and like building that community from the ground up with Palantir and all these new companies for
Yeah.
them. It's like that's what
For them.
they're essentially.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Where's our LLMs?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's
I'm
nothing,
not
bro.
impressed. China showed us. China showed
Yeah,
us it doesn't take as much money as they're saying it takes because
exactly.
they're crooks.
Yeah, yeah,
If they need $100,000, they're gonna tell you they need 100 million to do it.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying? So we already know all this billions that it don't cost that kind of money. It don't cost
yeah.
that kind of
That
money.
just creates the illusion that you need investors. You need them because you don't have it. And they have the. That's what it is, bro.
Right.
Yeah, that's the
Right. It
game.
don't take that much money. Where's our LLM? Where's our Palantir? Where's our entrepreneurs coming up with the same solutions that they have? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We got tech people. The Muslim community is filled with tech
flooded,
entrepreneurs
bro.
and tech professionals.
Any Fortune 500 company has like one or two Muslims that are just like helping that entire business model. Like
You see what I'm saying?
you see, but it's just not valued. They're not connecting the secular with the religion. You know what I mean? Because of how we've been
Right.
growing up. I mean, that's what they taught us.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta
Mm-hmm.
change what Islam means. We gotta change what religion means, and we have to
Yeah.
interconnect all of it. It's all a system. It's all one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when we
Mm-hmm.
start doing that in a way that really celebrates entrepreneurs, celebrates, value, celebrates everything that is dunya, right? Like then you start creating a community of true sovereignty, man. Real sovereignty. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 100%. So yeah, man. Nah,
Wow.
that's where we at with it.
Imagine we skip
Yeah.
this shit, bro. Yeah, this is like we cannot take
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
no
yeah. We can't
motherfucking
take a
breaks,
day off.
bro.
Yeah.
Hell no.
No
You
days
know what's
off.
crazy? I seen I think it was a Bruce Lee quote right before I texted you. And it's like you take one day off, it takes 2 days to get back in. I was like, oh yeah, I'm probably gonna
Mm,
take it, bro. I was like, nah, 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 nah. We gotta get even if we do like an hour, I was like, nah, bro, we gotta keep the momentum, bro. But yeah, no, this is a very powerful conversation. I think that needs to be
yeah,
had. Yeah, it's happening, bro. It's happening. I'm
yeah,
seeing it now, and I cannot unsee it. Once you notice, I think they call it the
yeah.
noticing. That's like the new term that they're using.
You know,
Once you see it, it's like Oh wow. And I'm not mad at them. Like they should. Like
No, 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 no,
that's
no. I
their.
think they should
I
too.
mean,
I
like
actually think they should.
that's like
For
I'm
a
happy
long
for them,
time,
bro. Yeah, y'all really y'all
they're having a
suffering, no
moment.
baby.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
having a moment. You know, it's their moment.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
They,
Now
they,
they have
they.
like a martyr that they can cling to like,
Yeah,
and they're
exactly.
really,
To
and
bring them
now they're
together.
using religion to bring everyone together. But really, it's a
Right.
white thing. It's not a Christian thing because Christianity doesn't even preach that. Like Christianity is all about,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like it's
Exactly.
bullshit, bro. Nobody's
And G
buying
and,
it,
and
but they're
Jesus wasn't
using
even white.
religion. Yeah. But they're
I mean,
using religion like always, like Elon talked about at the
yeah,
All In podcast. They need something to bring people together.
yeah,
And
yeah.
Christianity is like that, like you said, the Crusades or whatever. So,
I'd rather them do that than be pagans. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, which is really what the left is. I think that's what it is, like
Yeah,
paganism
yeah.
versus
The left is
like
pagan.
the
Yeah, definitely
Baphomet, like
pagan.
transhuman.
Yeah, it's definitely pagan.
Yeah,
Definitely
that's what.
pagan. Definitely pagan. Everything about the left is pagan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what the left is. Yeah, that's literally the vibe I get. So like you said, that's a war between them. I mean,
Yeah,
and
yeah, man.
similarly, like Muslims are gonna have their own issues, right? Islam, we see it. We see the
Yeah,
race in the messages. We
yeah,
see the hierarchy of like power
yeah,
manufactured over
yeah,
black people, and
yeah,
like most
yeah,
black people in messages are like
yeah.
the tokenized black person. It's like a you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's not actual
Exactly.
power. It's not real
Exactly.
influence. All the messages are built. So like let's start having real conversations about that
Exactly.
shit. You know what I mean? Like, let's stop focusing on the
100%.
distractions of what's happening overseas. Let's stop focusing on the
Right.
distractions happening, in politics.
Right.
Because y'all in leadership don't want to fucking address the real
Right.
issues with gender,
Exactly.
with relationships, with marriage,
Yeah.
with like, they don't want to
Yeah.
address none of these things.
Yeah. And
And
that's
it's like,
where
nah, we got to, bro. Because AI is going to replace you if not. I'll tell you right now,
exactly.
Allah has a funny way of replacing
I
people
mean,
that,
yeah.
yeah, for sure. So it's really just for them.
You know, 100%. There's a lot of apathy when it comes to the real issues in the
Yeah,
Muslim community. And the thing is that there's a level of tribalism among Muslims that has to like it's not going to
yeah,
work in America like that.
yeah.
Like I seen this one blackie man from Nasir Al Islam in Atlanta. He has like a YouTube page. He was breaking down that when foreign Muslims came to America, they didn't get on the agenda that the Muslim leadership in America had already established. Like people forget that the largest mass conversion to Islam with millions of people was with
Elijah
Warith
Muhammad.
Muhammad, his son,
Well,
Warith
yeah,
Muhammad.
yeah,
So people diss Elijah Muhammad and call him he's literally like the greatest black American to live. Like what he did with the Nation of
mm,
Islam, yeah, and
mm,
he did it with 1,000 families, right? They had
mm,
bakeries, they had their own banks, their own everything, right? And so some people were saying, "Oh, he's a sellout because he was getting some funding from a white supremacist oil Texas dude." You know what I'm saying? But that's because they both agreed that, like, yo, because even
yes,
Garvey got
mutual.
some funding. Yeah, it was mutual. It's like, yo, we
That's
need to
different. It's not
separate
selling out.
this billionaire.
Yeah,
Exactly. But
yeah, it's
they're not
different.
people are not sophisticated thinkers. But the point I'm making is
Yeah,
he sent his son, Warith Muhammad, to Saudi Arabia and to Egypt to learn the deen because he
mm,
knew what they was dealing with wasn't, you know what I mean? So he sent his son. And then his
mm,
son is the one that brought all of these people into Sunni Islam, right? And
mm,
that's the largest mass conversion of Muslims ever anywhere in the world.
yeah,
It's millions of people overnight, right? They had a blueprint for how Islam is supposed to be practiced here in regards to the politics, the political agenda, all these things. And the US started in the 70s because it didn't start in the 70s, but they was meddling a lot in affairs in the Middle East and they was bringing a lot of Muslims here. They were very strategic with it. They brought them and then they placed them in the suburbs, right? So that there would be a disconnection
mm,
between the Muslims from overseas and the indigenous American Muslims in the urban areas. You see what I'm saying? So when they got here, because they like, okay, if I'm Pakistan, I'm sticking with Pakistan. If I'm this ethnic, I'm sticking with
yeah,
that. That doesn't work in America like that. And
yeah,
the same way it would back in their country. Because
yeah,
here, popular culture is controlled, at least influenced by black folks, right? So if you don't tie in with the righteous black folks, your kid's gonna be twerking, Your kid's going to be doing
Yeah,
degeneracy things because the system that is putting the black community up for degeneracy is an engine. There's the entertainment engine behind that, and it's done to utilize the influence of black people naturally in those spaces to amplify whatever degeneracy they want to promote. Because there's a large part of the black community that's against degeneracy. So they don't never link up with that side. They don't link up with the Muslims and stuff like that. So now what happens is when the white supremacists or white nationalists or Christians or whatever, when they start doing the violent stuff, like going up into your masjids and shooting them up and stuff like that, they're not gonna come to the black masjids to do that. They're
yeah,
not gonna do that. They're gonna go to the ones where the Pakistanis is, where the
yeah.
Arab,
You're not
where
lying, bro. Damn, you're not lying, bro. I felt that last Juma. I felt that last Juma, bro. I don't know why, but my Spidey
yeah,
senses started to go up,
yeah,
and I
bro.
was like, "Whoa!" Like we don't
It's
realize this
already
shit is
happening.
coming. Yeah, I was
Yeah, it
like, "This shit
is.
is coming, bro." I felt it on such a deep. I couldn't even like. You're not lying. You're not
Yo,
lying, bro.
bro.
Like that. That is a real concern that they should have. They don't already have. A lot of these.
Right.
Yeah. You
And
said it already
so,
happened. I know the white boy shot up a church in Minneapolis or something, killed. Just
yeah, I mean, I'm just saying
was that
we've
many?
had random instances all around the country in New Jersey, even in Texas here, where there's people that go into masjids and stab believers up while they're praying or kill the imam and stuff. It's happened. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
with
yeah.
this rhetoric, with the rhetoric that's, cause I get, okay, I'll close with this part because I know you gotta go soon, but I'll say this
No,
part.
no, it's good. No, this is good. That's good. It's gonna be a little late. I got some minutes. But it's just funny that
All
like when
right.
I look at those mushes, like the security are like almost always black. It's like we,
Right, right,
I don't
right,
know, bro.
right. No,
It's
no,
just such
exactly.
a, and that's something we'll talk about off camera again. Like I think we touched on this
Yeah,
like a few weeks ago, but like it almost like we feel like black people need to, black Muslims especially, should like start their own community and build that. I don't know. There's two ways. You can integrate, but if they don't respect you and appreciate your value, you almost have to create it yourself, isolated, and
yeah,
then come with like leverage, right? Like if you
right.
don't, then it's like it's harder. So like that's what
I'm with
I'm
you. That's
battling
what I'm doing.
towards. Yeah,
That's actually something I have been building in the Moorish community.
yeah,
What I found is that okay, all inferiority complexes that black people have come from a lack of knowledge on certain things. When they embrace the Moorish ancestry, that completely kills
yeah,
any inferiority complex is number one.
correct.
Number
Yeah.
two, and then it just corrects it and resets the board and let people see what's important. So with
Mm.
that, and then you couple that with now you got the Moors who they're brave, but they're a little weird, right? Because they ain't got the dean, right? So they got the ethnic
Where are the
part
Moors?
together.
Like, is there like a, are they just scattered or is there like a,
You're scattered. It's like
okay.
it's a paradigm that has various different factions. And one of the oldest factions is the Moor Science Temple of America that was started by Noble Drew Ali, who they believe is a prophet. So
Yeah, yeah. No, no, it's good. I mean, this is an episode
yeah,
we'll go in
yeah,
deeper,
yeah.
but
We're
like,
going
yeah, I think
deeper
once
on
we
all this
kind of,
stuff.
yeah,
But people from his camp had left, went and studied abroad, came back and brought the dean. There was people out around when he had the dean, but the point is that his message of you guys are actually Moors and not Negroes, blacks, and colors politically is something that is very, very valid and that has to be
mm,
embraced because it puts you in alignment
mm,
with the identity of the Muslims who was actually running and controlling and having deals with the Europeans, right? Because there was a stripping of the identity. And then when you couple that with Islam, right, and you understand that, you're like, okay, now we have the ingredients to really build a community that's the right way. So when I came in 2006 and I started seeing these things, I'm like, yeah, the ethnic national identity part is correct, but the deen is off. Okay. When I look at the black Muslims, I'm like, okay, y'all got deen, but y'all ain't got no identity. Y'all running behind
yeah,
looking for acceptance
that's
for every move.
brilliant. So the Moors like the middle, meeting everybody in the
Exactly.
middle.
It meets
You're
everybody in the middle.
you're gonna trigger the shit out of white people. Now I see how things happen. Now I see
Yeah.
why like
Yeah. Yeah.
conflict
Yeah.
happens because like there's usually
Uh-huh.
one side just wants to build. I can
Uh-huh.
see how this can trigger them, and they're like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
hell no!" Like, and they're gonna call themselves more.
Well,
Like
they
they
did.
really
Well, hold
try.
on, but they did. They did. There was this right wing woman in like 2014, 15. right around time Trump was running the first election, went on Fox News and mentioned my group and said this group is dangerous because they actually know
Uh,
how to make Islam work with the Constitution
within the system. Yeah.
within the system. She's like, she was trying to warn them. She was like,
Yeah.
whatever y'all talk about, forget those, whoever you trying to say overseas. She's like, these niggas is, you got to watch it
Yeah.
because they know how to make Islam work with the U.S. Constitution. You see what I'm saying? So this is why you started seeing them talk about no Sharia law here. There wasn't no other Muslim groups pushing that in America, but
Yeah.
the Marrakesh group. You see what I'm saying? So the point I'm making is essentially that that's the solution. I agree with you. We have to create a community self-sufficient enough
Yeah.
and then bring all the other types of Muslims in because they're going to
Well, they'll
stay
come
fractured.
naturally, just like black culture. You'll have white people that you'll have all types of
Yeah,
people that will naturally gravitate
yeah,
towards the black understanding of like what it
right,
means to be Muslim, right? Like it's like not the Pakistani. Not, these aren't like we see them as watered down versions of Islam. We
right,
see them as like I see them as like feminized versions of Islam, but that's just their
right,
culture. In our culture, in
right.
black culture, it's like
hmm
now
hmm
we're more masculine. We're more, you know what I mean? Like it
right,
makes more sense to us in a different way. And it's not to
hmm
demonize them, like I talked about last time.
Absolutely
And that's
not.
what that's
Absolutely
what I'm
not.
processing, understanding is like they just genuinely believe that about it. You know what I mean? Like that's just their.
hmm
So and I'm sure we'll have our own, problems
Yeah,
and issues. But
absolutely.
yeah, yeah, you see it always in church. Like it's not like it's the opposite of monogamy, right? Like in Indian
Yeah,
or Pakistani, one is enough. With black
right, right.
culture, like the churches, you start seeing like
Yeah,
the issues of
yeah,
like
yeah. It's
they
not
don't
enough.
four is
It's not
not
enough.
enough. It's like four is
It's
not
not
enough.
enough.
It's like the
It's the
opposite.
melanin, like I was explaining. The
Yeah,
melanin increases
yeah,
the libido. It's no way
yeah,
around that. Melanin
yeah, yeah,
increases the
yeah, yeah.
libido. You know what I'm
Like
saying?
our issue is abundance. Like we too much
Right,
abundance is like
right,
whereas for them it's like scarcity and limited. Like that's how it works. That's their system. So like, all
right.
right, cool. So like instead of trying to, like you said, integrate ourselves in that, like you said with American politics, right? It's like build your
Yeah,
own and then
yeah,
scale. So like I'm starting to
exactly.
understand what that is and what that means. And we have so many like brilliant black like imams and thought leaders
Brilliant,
and innovate. Like we
brilliant.
start, I'm like the Avengers. We start like
That's my point.
we start going
That's
up
my
to them
point.
like
Major, a major obstacle is trying to, so the obstacle is this, right? You
fascinating.
got on the regular black Muslim side, you have
I'm about to change my name. Noah the Moor.
hey, see, that's the other thing. I mean, you'll be like be surprised that like that the more was the international identity. So it's not
Yeah,
there to
yeah. It's not the
replace
actual. Yeah,
yeah, it's not to replace your tribal,
correct.
your
Or your
ethnic
heritage.
identity. When they encountered when we was moving as a force internationally in the ancient world, we was the Moors. That's what we even called
Yeah,
ourselves. You have some scholars and some people that try to say, no, they didn't. Yes, we did it. I got the records. We got all the
yeah,
records. This
yeah.
is what we was why it's in treaty, right? So on one side, you have this group, you have these people who they know the deed, but they got no identity. And so they look negatively on the Moorish identity because of racist North Africans who were mixed in with Europeans during the Barbary slave trade and through the various colonizations that took place in North Africa. And then you have them saying that you're equated with the Moorish Science Temple. So there's a concept that the Moorish Science Temple is like the owners of the Moorish identity when it actually goes back to the history of the Moors who were Muslims throughout the world.
Mm,
And then there were
mm.
Moors identifying as such before Noble Drew Ali. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah,
try to
yeah, yeah.
it's an evolution. It's key to understand the evolution of Islam in America because the first group of people who was coming to the Americas teaching Islam after it had died down because it was already here during when they was bringing slaves here, bringing Africans here. But what ended up happening is these groups that came here were Indian. They were
Mm,
Indian, so they were teaching a lot of different type of Islam. You see what I'm saying? Like you had some Ismail, some that came here and they were teaching things. So the people like that was Izzuddin Muhammad, who was in Noble Drew Ali's movement, who was like a prominent figure in it. He went overseas to Turkey and then learned the deen in Egypt in Al Azhar, right? And then he came back and
interesting.
started teaching the deen. But there's an evolution because when he came back, the Nation of Islam was already popularized, right? So there's an evolution of getting bits and pieces
Yeah.
of Islam. Because then you had
Yeah.
Sheikh Dawood Muhammad, Sheikh Dawood, who was Malcolm X's teacher, and then you had Deuce Ali. Deuce Ali was from Egypt. He taught
Mm.
Marcus Garvey. He gave Marcus Garvey, and
Mm.
he's from right. And then you even had a Sudanese dude. You had a lot of Sudanese come when the Sudanese was coming to America. That's when they was giving up the the real Sunni Dean. You see what I'm saying? The real Dean or whatever the case may be. And so you have
Damn.
the red, black, and green flag. You know how you see
Yeah.
the
Like
black, red,
Ghana?
black, and green flag?
Yeah. Red, black, and green
Uh
flag?
yeah, yeah.
Like
That
Ghana?
comes
Ghana?
from
Yeah.
no,
Pan
not Ghana.
African.
It's like
You talking
it's
about
a
the Pan
pen.
African? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That comes
Black
from the
liberation.
Mahdi of the Sudan. The Mahdi of the
Mm.
Sudan who fought against the British. That flag
Symbol of
comes
black
from
liberation.
them. So there's
The
a lot
African
of East
diaspora.
Africans that came to America and even back then who was giving up the
Damn.
hot. You see what I'm
Damn. This
saying?
is powerful, bro.
Yeah, bro.
The red symbolizes the bloodshed for liberation. The black represents black people, and green signifies the land and natural wealth of Africa.
Right. But it comes
It's already the
from,
blueprint is there.
it's already there. So, and another thing, all liberation movements that took place in the Americas during colonization and slavery was led by Muslims. The Muslims in
Damn, bro.
Haiti, and then the Muslims in Brazil, and then the Muslims in other places in the Americas. So what I'm saying is there's an evolution of Islam in America that's been here before Columbus and that shapes and
Yeah,
changes and evolves throughout time. So when we get to the
literally.
19, when we get to the 1900s, what we're seeing is the totality of that evolution come into play
Yeah,
where the War of Deen Muhammad converts millions of people from the Nation of Islam into Sunni
yeah,
Islam,
yeah.
right?
And
So
this
you
is
can't
damn. This
shit
is
on
so
the other
powerful.
groups. You
Yeah,
can't shit on the Nation of Islam. You can't shit on the Moorish Temple because without them, it's like, so here's the
a
thing:
part of it. Yeah,
black people got free first, and then came to Islam. Islam didn't liberate black folks; they did that with Christianity. And
mm.
in search of furthering liberation, in search of furthering justice, we look to Islam. You see what I'm
More
saying? So
internal
it's like,
liberation.
right, and better community organizing, and mostly a
Yeah,
way
more
to protect
structure.
oneself, more structure,
Yeah, more
and
structure.
protection
Systematic.
against
Yeah,
opposition.
yeah. Ain't
You see
no
what I'm
turning the
saying?
left cheek on that shit.
Right.
Absolutely not.
You see what I'm saying?
Nobody
That's it.
believes that. Christians don't even believe that shit. Okay.
That's a
Yeah. No,
fact.
this is Yeah, we got to get like Abdullah Duro and who's the other guy. We got to get started. We got to start interviewing
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. We make a
you know what
list,
I
man.
mean? Like, because it's like a rewriting, like everything you're telling me. Yeah, this is like
You know, like I like what you do. You fact check. So I'm saying it, you looking it.
no, I'm looking. It's
I ain't
all here,
making
bro.
nothing up.
It's all no, it's all here. People can look it for themselves. Like I'm not because I don't believe anything. I'm not like I don't identify with anything like in Islam. Like I don't
Right,
like oh it's a
right,
black thing or white. Like
right,
I'm
right,
spiritual first, and then I'm
right.
Muslim, and then I'm black.
Mm-hmm,
Like right, like that's
mm-hmm,
my
mm-hmm,
lens of everything. And but
mm-hmm,
it makes so much sense. Like I got black kids. Like I
mm-hmm,
see the importance of educating people on the history that's been removed, hidden.
mm-hmm.
Like there's
Right.
no even when I was listening to what's his name when he talks about black history, black Islamic history. I had like three of his books, bro. Trying to see if I can get a what's the dude's name? He talked about like
Mustafa
how a lot of the
Briggs.
prophets, Mustafa Briggs, we gotta get him
Mustafa
on there
Briggs, yeah.
too. Like I think
Excellent work.
this
Yeah.
is starting to I'm starting to realize like this platform because we're creating as we go and the ideas are
Yeah.
coming, but it's like this is a niche that is not being given its proper due, right?
Absolutely.
Like even if you don't agree with it, the information has to be out there for you to
Right.
disagree with. But by not being conscious or aware, I think that does it a disservice. And so building this platform and having conversations with individuals that are primarily black, that are speaking
Mm-hmm.
on Islam and the history and like really
Right.
understanding that first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Establishing the foundation, that we can invite, the white, small hat, whatever. We can invite
Yeah.
anybody, but like
Yeah.
our audience has to be educated, myself included first, because this is all stuff
Mm-hmm.
I'm like ignorant to. So it's like You're seeing
But
me react in real
no,
time. Like
no. But the thing
this is
about it
very
thing is
powerful information. Like that
powerful
you
info.
said it's re-ident and I'm so hooked on like personal development that identity is everything. How you think of yourself, the script you create. And so by removing the name, that's why when you come as a slave, they took your name, right? They took your identity. And so you're reestablishing an identity based on empowerment. The Moors. It's not necessarily
Exactly.
saying you are a Moor. It's more the idea and the symbol behind being a Moor
Yeah.
and what that
Well,
means to you.
it's two. It's two tier. It's that, and there's the when you look into the legal and political elements of why we were stripped, right? Like those who were enslaved, more specifically, they were the stripped. Okay, reframing as we talk about RAS, right? Reframing things.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
we reframe transatlantic slave trade to a
hmm
Muslim Holocaust, then it'll make sense.
Now
It,
you
you,
talking crazy. I
no,
like
but
it. This
that's
is
what
real.
happened. But that's
That's
what happened.
yeah, that's literally the story. You got to have a story. You have to have,
Yeah,
damn,
it's a Muslim
facts.
Holocaust, and the Muslim world doesn't acknowledge that. They look at it as a black
Yeah.
thing and not realize it was actually a Muslim thing because it was two Muslim empires beefing. Askia Muhammad from the Songhai and I forget the other guy named from Morocco. What
hmm
broke the back of West Africa that allowed for colonization and transatlantic slave trade to happen was two Islamic empires fought. And basically the Moroccan Sultan at the time, he overthrew Iranian, he had a coup and he thought that they
mm
were weak on the border issue. So he called to Askia Muhammad from Songhai asking him for troops because they were cool with the previous ruler. But Askia
mm
Muhammad being cool with him, he came up there, sent troops, and they burnt down Marrakesh, basically, or one of the cities up there. And so that's what prompted that Sultan to say, you know what, nah, coming back. So he came back. He didn't get there. He didn't make it to Songhai, or it wasn't the first campaign wasn't successful in one way or another. So then he got firearms from the British and mercenaries from the Portuguese, and then broke the back of Timbuktu Songhai Empire. You see what I'm saying? Married in the nobility together, the Moroccan nobility and so after that is when
mm
West African Islamic empire was weakened, and that's what allowed for the fallout after that, the local chiefs and stuff
mm
skirmishing with other tribes and beefing and stuff like that.
That makes
You
so
see?
much sense, bro. It was like a survival mechanism, selling
Yeah.
out. I mean, at that point, you're just trying to
Right. At
survive.
that point.
That
Right.
makes so much sense. They make it sound like those niggas was just chilling and they decided to sell out their own people and like
No, no, no,
black
no,
people are just
no,
have that. You know what I mean? Like that's the narrative.
no,
Like black people just sold each other
no,
out. That's just how they're designed. That you can't
no.
trust them. Like, but that's the programming. Like that's how I perceive the history of like the transatlantic
Yeah.
slave trade. Like that's the programming that I have and the belief system that they
Mhm.
kind of subconsciously implanted in me of like, because I was like, why would they just? But like the context of what you're providing is like, nah, this is just the end. This is like America selling out everything. You know what I mean? Like this is like
Right.
a
Right.
final
This is why I say
like plea
history.
to
You can see what's
nah,
going on
this is
here.
yeah.
You can see
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
going on
yeah,
here. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. No, hundred
You can
percent.
see the same thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is the
But yeah,
conversation we gotta have in the Muslim community though, a serious one. Because it's when you understand these narratives that you understand the place of Islam in America. So that nobody can tell you Islam don't belong in America. It's not compatible with America. It was here before America. They
yeah,
found
yeah,
Kufic script. They found Kufic script in like Colorado somewhere on the stones. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? They don't
yeah.
even
Nah,
write Kufic script no more. That's an ancient
nah,
form
nah.
of
Yeah,
Arabic. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. No,
Yeah,
and I'm just like thinking about like all the racist imams and stuff. That like once you start, because they're able to mask it right now, right? Because the
yeah,
truth ain't
yeah,
out
yeah,
there. But when you start speaking the truth, it's gonna show.
yeah. That's why I
It's gonna
never
be
fully
so
integrated.
obvious of like,
Right, right. Yeah,
yeah, like this is like
yeah,
you've always been this way, and that's kind of what we're seeing now on a grand scale within America in politics, right? But like
right,
it's gonna
right.
trickle down to communities. Like this is just a natural effect. Like this is just naturally
Mm-hmm,
what's gonna take place
mm-hmm,
on the local levels. I mean, this is just so like yeah,
mm-hmm.
I'm just seeing it all unfold because it's already written, bro. We already know like this is gonna happen regardless. We're just doing our part. So
Exactly.
just understanding that this the psychology of individuals that avoid, dealing with their inner demons when it comes to racism and being honest about it, like being
Hmm.
truthful. This podcast is gonna trigger the fuck out of
It's going to
like
trigger. I
it's
know. I know.
gonna
I know.
trigger
I
so
know.
bad.
I know, man. I know. On every side,
So
though,
now,
because
yeah,
I got
nah, it's good.
to argue with my Moors on one side
No, you're right. No,
about
when you mention the Moors and like black people, it's like the right and the left. It's gonna be like a similar.
exactly. It is.
You
It
know what I
is. It
mean?
is.
Like
It
it's gonna
is.
be the
It is.
same type of
Yeah.
bullshit that we're dealing with on that end. Like it's
Yeah.
like us being
A
in the
hundred
middle
percent.
and trying to. And Islam is like what brings everyone in the middle, or it at
Exactly.
least, at the very least, it unveils who is being demonic on both sides and who's not sincere
Exactly.
in their
Right.
desire for peace. You know what I mean? And that's what
Right.
I appreciate about Islam. It just makes everything clear. So now I know,
Right.
okay, like you're my enemy. It's not personal. I'm gonna fuck you up
Right.
if you decide to like try to, you know what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah.
okay, like we understand the game and you've chosen side for
Right.
whatever reason,
Islam's a
but at least
warrior's religion.
it is, bro.
It's a warrior's religion, man. You know what I'm saying? Like this, the thing that reason I was attracted to Islam is because it was hard, man. It wasn't soft stuff,
Yeah.
man. You got to be
Until
serious
you
to be a
met until
Muslim.
you met the Muslims, and then you're like,
Yeah,
oh.
nah, yeah, yeah. I was disappointed. I ain't gonna
I was
hold
like,
you.
Alex Jones might be right. He might be putting something in the
Yeah.
water. You dude turning into
Yeah,
like
when they called me,
gay frogs.
I never fully integrated into either community because I'm like, you gotta
Yeah.
build one from the new because everything that exists has already been corrupted. It existed long enough to be corrupted.
The corruption is
For
what built the
something,
foundation.
right,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. So you need something that is born out of some level of purity
Yeah.
for the time it's needed
Yeah.
to really get the thing done in that time that needs to get done. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the institutions that are already existing, they're not going to do anything to change or fix the issues that's going on. They're not going to do
Yeah.
anything
Exactly. They're
because to
comfortable.
do
Yeah.
that, yeah, but
Yeah.
to do that means that they got to sacrifice what it is that they have because you
Yeah. The
won't be able to
identity.
solve the problem in that form. You can't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you just said
Yeah.
it. They're not even dealing with the issues of the
They're
ummah
not dealing with real.
and the
They're not dealing
masjid.
with real
They're not
issues,
dealing with
bro.
real
Yeah.
stuff.
They're not, man. They're not at all. They're not touching on it. But that's like an opportunity, right? As a businessman, I'm like, oh, that's an opportunity. That's what we're going to focus on because they're not talking about it. They're trying to pretend like it's not
Exactly.
happening. They're trying to like dismiss it because they at the top are comfortable. It's like we're seeing in elites, right? It's the same type of
Exactly.
mentality.
Same
They
thing.
got their wife, they got their kids. So like we're not gonna address, divorce. We're not
Hmm.
gonna address marriage.
Hmm.
We're not gonna address AI technology because we're
Hmm.
good. Like we're good. You know what I mean? And
Right.
like y'all aren't
Right.
good, but like nothing you can do
Right.
about it. Like we're the best that there is. So it's like I see it like, all right, cool. Like they serve their purpose and they do a really good job. And
Right.
I think learning from them, like they do a good job, building systems. Like they have like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
like there's a
Mhm.
lot to learn from both sides. I'm sure like if I dive
Absolutely.
into the Moors and
Absolutely.
black people, there's a
Yeah.
balance of like the culture and the system
Yeah.
and trying to
Hmm.
bring both in to where it's
Yeah.
natural. So yeah, I
Right.
think this is
100%.
definitely gonna be fun. I'm
Yeah.
starting
Yeah.
to
It's
see
gonna
and
be fun.
understand it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be
I
interesting.
love the smoke, bro.
I do too.
Yeah,
So
bro.
especially when it's about solving issues, you know what I mean?
Real,
I'm
yeah.
always for that. You know what I'm saying?
100%, man.
But we
Yeah.
gonna
All
do
right.
something special on that.
Any last remarks? Another brilliant episode on the tomorrow. It's probably tomorrow's show, bro. Not the pod. We gotta.
Yeah.
This is
The
entertaining for
tomorrow show,
educating.
right?
This is
Yeah.
incredible, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Nah,
yeah. We know.
we got a finger on the pulse. That's the key. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, all
Nah,
I
we're
would say
seeing it.
is that it's about community building, man. Like that's the economy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll give you an example, right? I said, and this is just in the black sense, and then I'm like cross-referencing it with the Muslims, right? I'm like, boom. I saw a TikTok with a lady talking about she don't buy her food from major farms and processing plants. She go to the local farmers who are black farmers or whatever and Mexican farmers. But there's like a big network of black farmers, like, and they don't have loans on their properties or
Man,
anything like that because they never really qualified for them anyway. But they're in every state and there's like a lot of them. So I'm like, okay, you got that. Then you got you got Muslim and black truckers everywhere. You
everywhere,
know,
man.
you got them
Everywhere.
with their own dispatchers, right? And then you got the people who are in the real estate, the people, yo, I got this
Mm-hmm.
property, I got this property, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then you got entrepreneurs. So you link your
Uh-huh.
entrepreneurs with your real estate investors, with your taxi, with your truck drivers, with your black farmers. You got a food distribution network for a grocery store system. You put some Muslims
Literally.
in there, and when they slaughtering the animals, they saying the Bismillah and the Allahu
Shahada.
Akbars and all that.
Yeah.
Now you got now you got a whole integrated halal food system in that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's all about connecting what's already existing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We take
That's a whole.
advantage
That's
of
a whole.
like, nah, it's brilliant. Nah, it's already there. That's the best part about
Track
it.
it
'Cause
on the
I'm lazy.
blockchain.
I don't like creating shit. You know what I mean? Like I like bridging gaps. I like connecting things. I don't want to create. I want to connect. Like it's all there,
Exactly.
bro. Everything's
It's all
there.
there. It's all there, man.
Yeah. And you got
That's
technology,
needed.
AI, make it easier. Yeah.
That's it. Tag it to the blockchain, right? Tag it to the blockchain.
Yeah.
So you got quality assurance on every
Yeah.
single fruit, vegetable, food product, all that,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Then I saw this black
Create the
lady or
DAO.
this black man and woman who got this they made this pancake mix. They got these pancake mix from like blueberry muffins. You know, it's mad creative. Major companies are trying to buy them out. But I'm like, yo, now you got a
Yeah.
food distribution network. Now you got people making their own food products. You see what I'm saying? We link
Mm.
in, we link in the African and Caribbean immigrants into that network system, right? Then we link in the Pakistanis and the Arabs and everybody else that into that same food
Yeah.
integrated network system. Come on, man.
It's already
Come
there,
on.
man.
It's already there. Phone calls,
Like we just
emails,
wanna
texts. That's all we got to do. Just coordinate. That's it. It's already there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, yeah, man. Let's get to it, man.
Yeah,
But I
we're
know you
there.
gotta
No,
go,
literally,
so
this is like the last mile. Everything's already been built up. No,
it's
everything's
already
already
built.
built up. Like you said, we're already there. It's the last lap. Like it's not even about like building or anything. It's like just connecting the dots at
Just
this point.
connecting
Like it can
dots.
happen quick. It's connecting the dots, understanding everyone's needs, and just creating a community around that, right?
Exactly.
Understanding.
Exactly.
And I think like seeing what's happening in politics and us talking about the agendas that we're seeing is going to create that unity, whether it's out of fear or love. You know, what I mean, you can make a choice,
Right. We can make a
right? Like
choice.
you can make a choice, but
But we're
regardless, it's
gonna be
happening.
forced to stick together. We're gonna be forced in more ways than one to stick together. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
And there's some people that may not believe it, and then it's all good. It's going to be ready for you. Hopefully, if you come to realize. But yeah, this is it, man. Okay. Nah, this is brilliant, bro. Yeah, we gotta start. I reached
Yeah,
out
yeah.
to Dullah, so we'll see. But I think like having these guys
Okay.
on and really, and we already have like once we start releasing these videos and
Right.
stuff, they'll see kind of our archives of
Yeah.
what we're talking about, and it's just like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
easy at that point. Easy, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
we dropping, man. We dropping. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
This is good.
I'm with that.
Alhamdulillah, man. Yeah, yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. Alhamdulillah, man. Let's do it. All right, all right. Anything
All
else? You
right.
good?
That's it. That's it. That's it.
All right.
So I lost. So I'll look at my brother. See you tomorrow.